And now we're honored and proud to invite our colleagues, these 6 daring executive directors or CEOs, onto our Migvan stage and into the Innovation Incubator to present their groundbreaking programs to this audience here and our judges. Mark Shapiro, the president and CEO of the Harry and Rose Sampson family in JCC in Milwaukee, and Michael Rawl, the executive director of Youngstown, Ohio, will be first. Both Mark and Michael submitted similar initiatives, and the selection team felt it was important to bring both examples to the stage. Milwaukee's program is the Road to Rainbow, and Youngstown is hosting Camp JCC Migvan to demonstrate how, and it was important to bring both to the stage today to demonstrate how a similar idea can come to life in 2 different places. Mark and Michael will present their ideas together as one programmatic concept in 2 examples. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mark. An interesting fact about Mark is that he took the road less traveled, the road less traveled path to becoming a CEO at the JCC. After a stint in a restaurant management program, he ended up working for and ultimately moving into ownership of a truck brokerage company called Cool Runnings. And Michael Rawl. Michael, here are some interesting facts about Michael. He attended Rainbow Day Camp as a camper before it was associated with the Milwaukee JCC, and I'm proud to say personally that we were Kivunim cohort in the same Kivunim cohort. Michael was also a senior counselor at JCC of Youngstown when Betsy Lynch was the camp director, and Artie has also told us that he was there as well. One of Michael's campers was Artie Allen's youngest son, Lee, who was only 3 at the time, and that's what we call keeping it all in the family.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share a quote with all of you, and if it's from Hillel, "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, who am I? And if not now, when?" Both of the initiatives we're about to hear about exemplify this very thought. So with that, I'm going to leave it to you.
People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. 8 years ago, we all got taken on by Simon Sinek's Finding Our 3 Circles. Our JCC was just caught up in it like everyone else. Every one of our staff members and board members filled out their circles, and we ultimately ended with this. We partner to build a healthier Milwaukee. That's what we do. And how do we do it? We meet our community where they are. And in the middle, our golden circle is that we inspire Jewish journeys. We inspire Jewish journeys for everyone. And I'm proud to partner today with Michael to talk about how we create open roads to camp. At the Harry and Rose Sampson Family JCC, we own a separate site day camp, the Albert and Ann Desher JCC Rainbow Day Camp. And there, we have come up with a program called the Road to Rainbow. The camp itself is on 100 acres. It looks much like an overnight summer camp. And we serve kids in your typical day camping age from 5 until our teenagers. We have developed a program that is building great Jewish values and bringing close to 350 campers every single day. We do this through the power of play. We create lifelong healthy living. We are community building by making kids unplug during the day. And of course there, we feel it's a Jewish journey for absolutely everyone. Not just for people who are Jewish, but again, for everyone. We serve people with these 3 key concepts: inclusion, diversity, and accessibility of camp to everyone. But we put this to the test a couple of years ago when we said, how do we partner to build a healthier Milwaukee? And this circle is really, this Venn diagram is how we got there. Outreach. We needed to partner with great institutions like the Boys and Girls Club of Wisconsin, with our Children's Hospital Wisconsin to help children who were inpatients to be able to have a camp experience. The Henry David Thoreau School, bringing up this past summer 476 campers for a free week of camp that they had no cost nor a cost to the institution, eliminating the cost of barrier for us to be seen as a partnership that was creating a healthier Milwaukee. Sustainability. This opened the door to funders. Funders who had never given to our JCC before, the United Way allocations, but most impressively, to non-Jewish funders who were inspired by this journey. And we found ourselves overwhelmed with the opportunity to tell the values of truly B'Tselem Elohim. African American, Hispanic, Hmong children, ultimately ending this past summer with 2 weeks of Syrian refugee camps where we had kids who had just moved to Milwaukee and had an opportunity to get a week of camp at a time where they were brand new. I could tell you more, but instead, Michael and I would like to let you have Kimura tell you about her experience at camp.
Here, all kids are welcome. Campers are diverse.
It's important that all kids can feel like they belong.
Nice job! That was fantastic.
The unbridled joy of 7-year-old Kimura Patterson of Eastbrook Academy, contagious.
I love the swimming because I never get to swim that much at home. How I meet new people and have so much activities to do, and they can just, like, the kids could just play. And my mom asked me, it's like, oh, what you do at JCC? And I was like, I did lots of fun stuff. I did some gymnastics, I did some swimming, I did some hockey, I did some soccer. There's a lot of things to do, and then we had to eat lunch. And the most best thing was praying to God.
The most best thing.
We're proud to be the first partnered submission to the Innovation Incubator. The fact that we created our programs without knowledge of each other speaks to the universal need that we're addressing. As Kimura so eloquently demonstrated, Camp JCC Migvan is about diversity and collaboration. Diversity of people, diversity of revenue streams, and the collaborations that make it happen and result from it. Youngstown, like many Rust Belt communities, is facing a shrinking population and economic hardship against the backdrop of changing attitudes about affiliation, philanthropic giving, and rising anti-Semitism. Because of innovations like Migvan, and despite these challenges, our JCC, here in its early days and today with our new second campus, is thriving. What is Camp JCC Migvan? It is the bridge where Israel Tennis Centers, founded by Youngstown native and donor Dr. Lippy, meets United Way's Success After 6 programming for underserved youth. We have incorporated Israel Tennis Center's approach of teaching leadership and Jewish values through tennis into Camp JCC, and the United Way is paying for underserved children to attend for 4 weeks each. In 2019, 50 kids participated. In 2020, we're planning for 100. In this collaboration, we see the realization of outreach, sustainability, and values. But that's not all. Because of this collaboration, we now provide fitness and Israel education to 13 local schools as part of Success After 6's after-school program. And one of the schools now provides us with unlimited year-round busing for $20 an hour, saving us $30,000 last year alone. This collaboration also allowed us to unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in local funding, which we leveraged to build a new pavilion, playground, and soon an ice rink. It doesn't matter if it's 476 kids or 100. It's not about the size of JCC. We're here together because it's about using innovation to maintain JCCs as the town square, or triangle, of Jewish life. Outreach, Jewish values, and sustainability make that possible.
So now what, we get 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
go ahead.
I have a question. Thank you. So in addition to them knowing that it's at the J or that it's in Israel Tennis Center, could you talk for a minute about how you get across where's the values piece? How does that come out?
So just like any other formal JCC day camp, we're using Hebrew language throughout the day. Kimura, everybody started laughing. You missed the part. Her favorite part of the day was that after lunch she prays to God. So every kid is learning Birkat HaMazon. This past summer, we had one of those moments where it was a kid's birthday. They got up, started to sing happy birthday. Then they sang Yom Huledet Sameach, and one of our Syrian refugee campers came up, tugged on the camp director's shirt and said, "Can I teach it in Arabic?" So these values of this triangle, this Venn diagram ending in the middle, is happening through Jewish values every day at our camps.
How does this enhance the rest of your programs at the JCC, or
Well,
does it take away from it?
No, it absolutely enhances our programs. In Youngstown, one of our challenges is that we're lacking a critical mass of youth. And the ability to bring in other people from the community allows us to develop a more robust program and reinforce those opportunities for our own Jewish youth.
At Rainbow, we're finding this is a two-way street. For many of our North Shore middle-class Jewish kids. This is their first experience really having a chance to meet kids who are from the Hmong population, from the Hispanic network or neighborhoods, or our African American population. There is a huge chasm of a lack of diversity in so many programs in the JCC and at other parts of our community. This has become a fundamental part for us. So it's, these kids don't come to camp in separate groups. They actually, sixth graders are sixth graders. So they're all together. And that has been a huge benefit going both ways.
So how do you deal with the challenge of universalism versus particularism? I mean, do you have pushback that you've got to be very diverse sensitive, and therefore the Jewish has to step back to some extent?
We will not take it's not we won't take a step back. We don't take a step back on the Jewish part of it at all. We are the JCC. We're rooted in our Jewish values. And we really try and teach this concept that 98% of the values of every religion are exactly the same. The fact that the world has spent 3,000 years killing each other over the 2% difference is not what we're really letting come to the forefront, but instead to focus on how our Jewish values actualize out. We had an example with our Syrian refugee camp of a number of the campers could not swim, girls couldn't swim with boys. We happen to have been lucky that we have a pool and a pond and a gam, and so we were actually able to create separate single-sex swimming time during the weeks that we had the Syrian refugee group there.
But if the values are 98% the same, why bother with the last 2%?
We don't really focus on the last 2%.
No, but the last 2% is the Jewish, isn't it? I mean, maybe I'm confused, but if you're teaching the kids we're all the same, we all have the same values, which, is a good thing as Americans. But the value of Jewish summer camp was to make people, I thought, to make people feel special about being Jewish. So how can you feel special about being Jewish if you're sharing all this with all these other kids, which is a good thing if I want my kid to go be a great American? It sounds like you're recreating the settlement house versus the Jewish Community Center.
We found that in Youngstown, that many people come to our camp because it's a Jewish camp. It really allows us to embrace that idea. Many of the participants who are Christian, I've heard the phrase, they get the Old Testament during the week and they get the New Testament on Sunday.
Yeah.
What's your total budget for running this?
For running this program, we're about $165,000.
And how much of that comes from the Jewish community?
Well, we are fundraising for it. About 20% of the budget for this program is coming from donors who are not Jewish. About 80% are Jewish. We have about $30,000 a year coming in from our United Way, and so that's offsetting some of that. And then we just received our first ever capital investment from a family that is not Jewish, that had fallen in love with the Rainbow program over the last 6 years, of about $375,000. So it was the first major non-Jewish gift. And this is not the 98.2 or the 298. It's all Jewish values. It's exposing Jewish camp to kids who are not Jewish, not creating an American camp of values. It's all Jewish.
This summer the program will cost us?
Oh, God.
Time
0.
is up.
100% paid by other funders.
How many would like to vote for another 5 minutes?
So
Now I'd like to invite the two of you to have 2 minutes to close. So thank you.
Our closing is a little simple. You saw on that video a picture of a camp director talking about wanting to have camp available to everybody, guided by Jewish values and taught that way. That was Michael's camp director. That video could have been anyone's kid. They have a pool and we have a pool, and we're serving the same kinds of kids from a small JCC to a metro JCC. Lenny was Michael's camp director and remains the camp director at Rainbow now. Lenny sat in front of a donor the other day as we were soliciting for one of our major capital campaign gifts and was asked, "Why do you do this?" And I've heard his answer a number of times before, and all of a sudden it changed. And you have to know that Lenny says the same thing over and over again. He's been saying it to Michael and to me for a long time. And his answer changed to, "I'm trying to rewrite the headlines of tomorrow. I would love it if I was a part of making 476 kids who are less likely to wake up on a Saturday morning, walk into a synagogue and shoot somebody just because they're Jewish." And that's why we are opening the roads to our camps. Thank you very much. Thank you.